So you're making six figures, maybe more. You're an engineer, maybe you're a doctor, maybe you're a physical therapist, or you're in some sort of science field or some sort of tech worker, or maybe a manager. Look, you're smart, you're successful, you solve complex problems at work every day. So why does your bank account tell a different story? If you're a motivated professional or entrepreneur who feels like you're spinning your wheels financially, despite doing everything right, then you probably should stick around, because what I'm about to share with you could save you a decade of frustration. So by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why smart people stay broke, and more importantly, the exact framework to fix it. I'm going to walk you through the 7 biggest mistakes keeping motivated professionals, high earners, stuck, and give you a simple system to break free and make work optional, potentially 10 to 15 years sooner than traditional retirement. If you're new here, by the way, I'm Justin Saffel. I'm an engineer turned investment advisor managing over 12 million in client assets. This year, I exited corporate America after my advisory firm, which takes about 8 hours per week, thanks to some automations to run. That started producing over double my engineering salary, and work became mostly optional for me. And so now I spend that extra time helping high earners, motivated professionals, and entrepreneurs eliminate debt, invest wisely, and achieve financial independence 10 to 15 years faster than traditional retirement timelines. Look, I grew up on food stamps and hustled my way through college, started investing with just $50 a week once I became an engineer. And I hit financial independence by age 38. So when I say I understand the struggle of feeling behind despite making good money, I know because I've been there. So let's dive in. Okay, so mistake number 1, waiting for the perfect strategy. Here's the thing most people don't realize. You're not stuck because you don't have enough information. There's plenty of that. Just look at YouTube right now. There's plenty of information. You're probably drowning in it. Every podcast says something different. Every book contradicts the last one. Your friend made a killing in crypto and your advisor says stick with bonds. So you wait, you analyze, you look for certainty. But here's the brutal truth. While you're deciding, time is deciding for you. And there are really only 3 levers that you can pull in investing, and that's time, critical mass, and basically how much money you have, and performance. In time, that's the one you can't get back. And so most people wait until the pain of staying sane becomes the greater than the pain of making a change. And the problem is that by then, sometimes it's often too late. You've lost years of compounding, and now you're playing catch up. So what's the fix? You got to make a decision. Not the perfect decision, just a decision. Start with simple index funds. Automate $100 a week. Build momentum. You can adjust later, but you can't get the time back that you're spending by waiting. Okay, now mistake number 2, and this is my favorite. I harp on it constantly. No clear destination. So let me ask you something. Do you know how much money you would need in order to make yourself financially independent, in order to make work optional? I call it your FI number. Some people call it your work optional number. Some people call it retirement. It's the exact dollar amount where your investment returns cover your expenses and work becomes optional. Most people I talk to say things like, I want to retire comfortably, or maybe a couple $1,000,000. I had a guy say $5 million the other day. But that's not a plan. That's a wish. Without a specific target, you'll never feel confident about your making progress. I've seen clients with $2 million who only spend maybe $100K a year anxious because they have no idea if it's enough. And so here's the formula if you need a little bit of help. It's your annual expenses times 25, and that equals your FIRE number. But let me say that again because it's important. It's your annual expenses. Your financial independence retire early number, or FIRE number, or financial independence number, or work optional number, or retirement number is your annual expenses times 25. It's predicated on how much you spend, not how much you earn, not how much you're going to earn later in life, how much you spend. And so if you spend $80K a year, then you need roughly $2 million. If you spend $60K a year, you need $1.5 million. That's it. That's your target. And that's a very conservative way to calculate things. And once you know your number, everything starts to change. All that conflicting advice, it becomes kind of noise. You now have a filter. Does this move me closer to my financial independence, retire early number or not? Should you max out your 401k? Well, does it move you closer? Probably. Should you chase that hot crypto tip? Well, did it move you closer? Probably not. Suddenly, decisions become easier, and the stress, it starts to melt away because you can start to plan when you have a destination. Right. So speaking of calculating your financial independence retire early number, I've been putting together a completely free resource to help you do exactly that. And it's called Financial Engineering School. And inside, you'll get my Financial Independence Retire Early Calculator, step-by-step lessons on budgeting, investing, tax optimization, plug-and-play templates that save you hours, and a community of high performers simplifying their path to financial independence. Just no fluff, no paywalls, just proven frameworks. And the links in the description below. You can join for free and start building your system today. Now, back to the mistakes. Mistake number 3, FOMO, interrupting compounding. This one cost me $200,000. Back in 2020, I turned $25,000 into $375,000 trading stocks. And then the very next year, I lost about $200K of it because I kept chasing, even though every signal I had at the time was telling me not to, right? And every time you interrupt compounding like this, you reset that clock. And so the number one rule in wealth building, certainly after that, moving forward for me forever, is don't interrupt compounding. But FOMO sometimes makes us break that rule, and it happens constantly, right? Your coworker makes a killing in real estate, your brother-in-law is up 50% on some obscure stock. Suddenly, your steady index fund strategy feels boring and maybe even insufficient. And so you pull out. You chase the shiny object and you reset progress. The fix, committing to boring consistency. Pick a strategy, automate it, stay the course. That's the secret. Look, I've got different strategies in my funds that I manage for people. But the point is that you gotta pick one. Some outperform the others, some are more risky than the others, but the secret is consistency and sticking with it no matter what your strategy is. And so that moves me to mistake number 4, confusing income with wealth. So making $300,000 a year doesn't mean you're building wealth. I think that's probably an obvious statement, but I feel like I need to say it. I've worked with executives earning $500,000 a year, living paycheck to paycheck, because the lifestyle inflation eats the raises faster than you can save them. Income is what you make, wealth is what you keep, and how you deploy it matters, okay? So that brings me to mistake number 5, comparing yourself to others, maybe even legends. Look, stop measuring your chapter 1 against Warren Buffett's chapter 20. You weren't born when he was. You didn't start investing at age 12. Your only competition is the person looking in the mirror and the person you were yesterday. Are you closer to your financial independence number than you were last month? That's all that matters. And you have to stay focused. So that brings me to mistake number 6. And that's chasing performance when that's not your problem, when you really need critical mass. When you're just starting out, for instance, with $10,000 invested, the difference between 10% and 20% returns is only $1,000. You know what moves the needle faster? saving another $10,000. Performance matters eventually, but only when you've built that critical mass, and your savings rate is everything. Mistake number 7, this is the last one, waiting for pain to force action. Most people don't act until the pain becomes unbearable. And by then, they've lost years and they have this struggle now all of a sudden to recover. So start before the pain makes you start, because the regret of never trying will always outweigh the disappointment of an imperfect result. And so here's the bottom line. You're not broke because you're not smart. You're stuck because you don't have a clear system. And so I would encourage you to calculate your financial independence number, reverse engineer the path, automate your investments, and stay the course. That's the framework. And if you need help implementing it, then join my free financial engineering school. And inside you'll get my FIRE calculator, the automation templates, step-by-step roadmap to help you make work optional 10 to 15 years sooner. The link's in the description. You can join today. But before you go, do me a favor. If this video helped you, hit that like button. And if it really, really resonates with you, share it with somebody else and drop a comment down below. Let me know, what's your biggest financial frustration right now? I read every comment and I will reply. And if you're serious about financial independence, subscribe to the channel. I post a new video every week and I break down the exact strategies that help me and my clients make work optional. All right, you've got this. Go calculate your number, build your system, and take control. I'll see you in the next one.